What's up, everyone? Yeah, I'm sure you're all wondering why I'm here and doing a vlog on my birthday. Dude, it's your birthday. Get out and enjoy yourself. And for Pete's sake, stop doing videos after you eat so you're not burping half the darn time. Yeah, well, we're getting started late tonight. Later than last go-around, actually, so, alright, let's see. It's been an interesting birthday celebration, that's for sure. Yay, I turned 33. Whoopity freaking do. But it was kind of the most random birthday observance I've ever had. It wasn't all about me. It was my dad and I made it into a father-son outing where we caught up on things that have been going on over the past couple of months, and I accompanied him as he took care of his errands for the day, including a little bit of job hunting because he's trying to get out of where he's at. Well, he's getting out of where he's at. He's trying to find somewhere else to go, so he just can't stay where he is anymore. So it's really too bad things have gone the way that they did for him, but so we kind of mixed together his job hunt with my birthday and going to restaurants and spending some time together, catching up on things, you know, how things with you, how things with him, how things with, so how things with you, Jay? Oh, fine. How things with you, Dad? That kind of thing. You know, kind of exchanging what's been going on, things like that. We keep in touch on social media and stuff like that, but much like me, he doesn't consider internet social media stuff as any replacement for, you know, actually staying in touch for real outside of the internet. So we both maintain a skepticism of internet stuff, and I definitely have it, and it influences a lot of what I do as well. First and foremost, as the chair squeaks away, squeak, squeak, creak, creak. Yeah, I gotta get some oil in this thing. So, apologize for the tacky setup with the balloons and the tape. This is actually 15-year-old drafting tape from my blueprint reading kit when I was in high school all those years ago. I found it, and I've been trying to use it up, and it's really hard to peel tape off of it because of how old it is. So, actually, yeah, it's right over here. Yeah, yellowed 15-year-old drafting tape. It's supposed to be like masking tape that's easy to peel off, but the adhesive has gone wacko in the last 15 years. But I managed to peel off enough strips of it to tape these up one more time. I didn't think I'd be using them again, but of course, my birthday ends in a few hours, so they'll be irrelevant after that time. So whoop-de-doo, one last hurrah for them before I take them down for good. Anyways. So today was probably the most random birthday observance that I've ever had in my life. We kind of mixed together his job search with my birthday. It's not really all that great of a combination, but we started out with doing some errands and him going to turn in his meat cutter coats. So basically, to understand my dad's situation, you got to understand that this goes back decades. We're talking about his situation. Dry lips still. Get some more chapstick tomorrow after my little physical in the afternoon. Yeah, anybody can be good. Doctor's office. So, you're pretty much old now, and here's everything that's wrong with you and stuff you gotta do if you want to see age 40. Yeah, that's not gonna be fun. Anywho, and it's on Friday the 13th, too. Lucky me. But anyways, or lack thereof. Alright. To understand the situation with my dad, you got to understand that this is all fallout from decisions he made 20 years ago that were actually very noble things to do. He's a meat cutter. He's been involved in supermarkets pretty much his whole life because one day when he was didn't know what he wanted to do with his life, he was stocking shelves in a supermarket. He went to the back room to get something. Some little old lady thought he was the meat cutter. And so she peeked her head through the doors of the meat room and said, "Yoo-hoo, Mr. Butcher!" And he was like, "Mr. Butcher? That sounds kind of cool." And I like that. Let's do that. So he tried to get involved with the meat department. Been cutting meat, he's been a meat cutter for decades now. But that's basically what he's worked with. Unfortunately, around the time that I was growing up in the early 90s, he made a decision that pretty much landed him where he is right now. Well, not that decision per se, but just some fallout from it. It kind of escalated and became what it is today. So, when I was, about 20 years ago, when I was growing up, he made the decision that he wanted to be able to see me catch the bus in the morning. And none of the big stores would ever let him do that. They'd have him starting at 3 o'clock in the morning, cutting the meat for when the store opens and things like that. They'd be driving him all over the place, so he'd have to go to all different stores and have all that travel and stuff like that. and who knows if there's travel reimbursements at these companies and whatnot. So he's been all over the place. So he would have been all over the place. He wouldn't have been able to see me catch the bus in the morning, things along those lines. So he decided to deliberately not make as much money as he could have made and not work as prestigious of supermarkets as he could have worked in, so he could see me catch the bus in the morning. Here's the problem: when I went off to college. And when I went off to college, he stayed in those stores that were a little too easy and a little too laid back. So now that's where his experience is. So as those stores get gobbled up by more aggressive competitors, where's he supposed to go? That's the thing. And so he's in the position now, he's like, maybe I should just, not go to supermarkets anymore. I'm like, with how you've been run around by the delusional management that took over the place that you're quitting, and yeah, the management is very delusional. I got an Aldi receipt right here, and we'll get to it very shortly as to why this matters versus where he's coming from. I said, you know what? We should also sign you up with one of the industrial temp agencies that I've worked with around here, because with some of the stories you've told about the things that you were doing, running around all over the place, working on concrete, not just cutting meat all day, but also running it out to places and things like that. I'm like, you know what? Some of the easier warehouse work that I do might actually be a step down for you physically, because you're so used to being run all over the place. He's like, yeah, I might have to consider that. I have a lot of, as he likes to say, he has a lot of irons in the fire. So it's just a matter of what happens afterwards. But anyway, all right, let's get back on topic here. So yeah, so he eventually he's basically working on it as is an ad hoc basis right now. He's already worked through a 2-week notice, but he was such good friends with one of the store managers that he just didn't want to leave immediately. But he's kind of been, if you give me only a certain amount of hours, I'll stay. Otherwise, it's all over. Unfortunately, this hasn't been working out, so one of the stops we made early in the morning was to one of the stores he's been working at where he could drop off his meat cutter coats because he doesn't think he'll need them after Friday or Saturday, which will probably be his last day. So, anyways, while he was in the store saying goodbye, and this really says a lot, with how workplaces are these days, with how companies are, this guy was able to walk through the front door of the store, bad-mouthing his job to all of his buddies that work up at the front desk, the cash registers, etc. This guy was able to walk through the door of that store and just start talking crap about his job and how he was glad to be getting out of it and glad to be quitting. Nothing happened. I don't know if there was even any managers in the store, and if there were, did they even care? Probably not, because the stores that he's involved with have just gotten acquired by a larger chain from out west by New York that are actually very, very delusional. They have no idea. They have way too inflated ideas of what their stores are all about. And some of that, of course, is evidenced by while he was in the back room saying goodbye to people and turning in his meat coats, I actually was looking at some of the prices of stuff that I've bought enough times with the vegetables that I've been eating lately to have the prices memorized. I'm looking at the prices in this store and I'm like, no, there's no way these people are anywhere close to competitive. This store is running on fumes. These people are just waiting to go out of business. Now, you want to know what I'm talking about? This is a supermarket that's been there for pretty much the whole time we've been living in Connecticut. Decades now. But it's a small store. You can literally see all the corners of the store from, if you're not in an aisle somewhere, if you're up front by the service desk and the few registers they have, you can literally see all four corners of the store. I think we have dollar stores that are bigger than this supermarket. It's just, oh man. It's just crazy. But I was perusing some of the prices, and their prices are nowhere close to competitive. And we actually stopped at Aldi together to pick up various things for the stuff we get at Aldi. So we kind of blended a trip together. Just to give you an idea, obviously an Aldi receipt from duh. All right, let's quit stating the obvious here. Here's 2 types of canned vegetables that I get on a regular basis. French-style green beans and mixed vegetables, neither of which are paleo, by the way. It's kind of just more to eat a bunch of, it's basically just eat a bunch of, it's basically just taffy? What am I thinking taffy for? It's basically just to have vegetables to eat as my main filler food without having lots of carbs or starches or potatoes. But anyways, so French-style, I said fried green beans. That's not what they are. It's French-style, the ones that are pre-cut for you and stuff like that. French-style green beans per can, 50 cents, or excuse me, 49 cents. 49 cents a can. At this other store, 99 cents. Mixed vegetables, 65 cents a can. At this other store, 99 cents. All the canned stuff was 99 cents, and it was labeled as an everyday low price. Everyday low, yeah, right. It's just a royal ripoff. To give you an idea, Dollar General, who's not even a supermarket chain, they're kind of like some confusing mix between a general store and Walmart, sells this kind of stuff for like 60 to 70 cents. So they're not even competing with smaller format stores. I should go, next time I'm in a convenience store. Yeah, a convenience store. Check the prices on things like this if they have any. See if the convenience stores have better prices than they do. Yeah, these folks don't have a chance. The only chance they have, which they're not acting on, is that this store is located in around a whole bunch of mill houses. There are tons of folks living literally with this store at the end of their street. So if they're driving down to the end of the street to go to this store and not having to mess with traffic, maybe that might be worth it. Or going out for a walk, or walking to the store for a few things. Maybe they have a chance. Otherwise, nada. Nothing. Absolutely not. If anybody who works in those mill houses goes anywhere near any other stores to and from their work, not a chance. These people, and there's been a big exodus from the stores because the people working there can't stand the new management. It's just a royal mess. So I don't think these folks have a chance. So my dad's getting out of it. While he still can, so to speak, or well, not while he still can, but he's getting out of it before it gets really, really bad because it's about to take a plunge for the worst. So yeah. So it was an interesting experience going with him to a job fair that he wanted to check out. Of course, it's very different going to a job fair when you're not actually looking for jobs. It's almost interesting to sit there and watch folks give like their elevator pitch or something like that to a recruiter who's probably paid to act like they're genuinely interested in every single person that comes along. And then, of course, all right, let's go through the resumes. This one, nah. Nope, nah. Oh, man, this one looks somewhat interesting. Hey, roll the 72-sided die and see if we'll schedule an interview. That kind of thing. I personally am not a big fan of job fairs because they're kind of redundant. With the black hole of the internet and online recruiting these days and all these companies dumping all of their eggs into that basket when it comes to recruiting, it's really terrible. It's more a matter of networking and stuff like that. The only way that these places make sense is if you go to either a smaller company that doesn't do this crap, if there are any, or if you go to one of these places and the recruiter is actually someone who will actually let you say, okay, fill out an application online, then call me and I'll pull your application out of the pile and look at it. If they're actually interested in that kind of thing, then it might actually be worth it. Otherwise, redundant. Just a giant publicity stunt. So, yeah, dysfunctionomy, plain and simple, inaction as usual, however you want to say it. But it's just a different experience, though, when you're there and you're not looking for a job. So, some of what I saw from those recruiters reminded me of why I'm in a pretty decent place and I should stay because of the people, because the good people that I'm involved with, because there's another warehouse that was there, one of our competitors that we often get people from because they hate that place. So they were, they pay more, but you earn every last penny of it, that's for sure. But basically, so I didn't even bother because it would just be stupid at this point. I'm doing so well where I am, it would take like another layoff for me to even consider going anywhere else at this point when I work with such a good group of people and things like that. You can't put a price tag on everything. And in this day and age where companies are getting more and more mechanical and more like machines by the day, if you meet a good group of people that you like working with and they like you, it's probably more worth it, even if it's almost not even professional, to work with these good people rather than risk working with a bunch of people that don't give a rat's rear about you for 5% more salary or something. So while I was there, though, I did ask a question to one of the recruiters, though, to shut some people up who've been telling me to go work for a certain defense contractor who supposedly has all kinds of IT openings for computer people. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really looking for a job right now, but if I wanted to join your IT team, what sort of backgrounds do I need? Servers, hardware, certifications. I do a lot with databases right now. She's like, oh no, we outsource our IT. I don't know who told you that, but we outsource. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. sorry to waste your time. You're looking more for people to work in the shipyard, right? So, yeah. So hopefully that shuts those people up that were telling me there's all kinds of computer opportunities. Look, we live in a day and age where large organizations view any kind of technical people as disposable support staff. Yeah. And then we wonder why identity theft is such a huge thing and there's all these data breaches that are constantly popping up in the news. Well, maybe one of these days when technical people are viewed as anything other than disposable support staff that should be either contracted out or outsourced, or better yet, as happened to one printer technician I know, laid off and then rehired as an independent contractor to not have to give him benefits. Yeah. That said a lot of nice things, though. Well, not nice things, but that actually gave me just a hint of just how good of a group of people that I'm working with. I see these recruiters ranging from, hi, if you want to work for us, apply online, to recruiters that are actually asking questions, to recruiters that are like, okay, quick, tell me about yourself, little elevator pitch type thing. And then they try to match them up with positions. The best companies there, no doubt, were the ones that were giving people the option, okay, you're going to have to apply online, but here's my card. Give me a call after you finish applying online. I'll pull your information out, and we'll see what we can do. So you don't get stuck in the black hole of the internet. Maybe companies are finally wising up to the black hole of the internet. Yeah, stuff like that, and how this online recruiting stuff just doesn't work. It's just really, it's dysfunctional as ever, and it's being used as an excuse to cut down on recruiters as well. Oh, we got all these computer systems. Let's cut our HR to the bone and stuff like that. Yeah. So, a completely different discussion altogether. But it was definitely an experience to go to a job fair without actually looking for a job, just to scout it out, see what sort of stuff was going on, how these things go. So if I'm in that position again, I'll pretty much know what to expect and what to look for specifically. Namely, people that will actually speak with you directly instead of having to go through the giant fortress wall of computers to maybe get considered. It's kind of a way of, saying hello, stuff like that. If it's even used like that. It really depends on the companies that are involved, but anyways. So after that, we decided to get a little more direct. I brought him to the temp agency that got me into the warehouse fiasco job, only to find out they no longer have that account. Interesting. This has been very interesting because I actually got multiple warehouse fiasco updates on what's going on since I left during the day. It's still a lousy place to work for. They still have a terrible reputation, but now they're just getting even more stupid by the day. So corporate, just like they did with, if anyone's ever been fired from a job for any reason, they're flagged as unhireable if they're a temp. Well, okay, we'll save the warehouse fiasco stuff for last. But just to wrap up the rest of the day, we burned some of those gift cards. We burned some of the gift cards at 99. I treated, actually, so that's one less meal I'll be able to get for free. Come on, father-son thing. Plus, he treated when we went somewhere on his birthday, so it's kind of making up for that and stuff like that. Yeah, so he treated when it was his birthday, so I kind of returned the favor. We went to the 99, got some New England fried shrimp. Good stuff. The thing with these guys get mixed reviews. 99's one of those places you find in a lot of these big, just off the highway malls, like strip malls, stuff like that. I don't want to say strip malls, but basically all kinds of places around here have at least a Walmart or a Target, a Five Below, a Lowe's, there's all these stores that you keep seeing again and again and again in all of these like shopping centers off of the interstates around here. And so this is kind of, 99 is kind of one of the restaurants you keep seeing, either 99 or Ruby Tuesdays or something like that. No like McDonald's or Subway or anything. Well, there's one place that has a McDonald's, so I can't say that's true, but yeah. So it's kind of like a little bit more than fast food type restaurant type things and whatnot. But anyways, so I went there and it was pretty decent. Although I'd heard the service gets flaky when they're slammed with customers in the evening. So it's good that we were having like a late lunch / early supper at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We got right in, the food came right out. It was awesome. So I might stop there after work. So the way some of the stuff I've been reading about when you should eat says that based on when I'm going to bed, it probably wouldn't be that bad of a deal to have supper at like 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon, and then go to bed by 8 or something like that, because you're not supposed to sleep more, you shouldn't eat within X amount of hours of going to sleep or something like that. But yeah. But anyways, it was a pretty interesting experience. And then we stopped at Aldi afterwards. Well, yeah, I just compared the prices, man. But yeah, we're both Aldi fans, so we combined that trip together. And last thing we did was I let him borrow my broadband with a laptop here in the Geek Suite so he could fill out the online application for the store he wanted to go to. And then the Chronos system got stuck when he tried to send it. I let the thing do its little spinny circle thing for 2 hours before finally cutting it off. I'm gonna let him know that it didn't go through. But he was trying it over dial-up earlier and complaining about the terrible speed. So I'm like, yeah, why don't you just do? Why don't you just? Why don't you try it at my place, see if it's any better? Nope. Maybe it's because they had a job fair today and all those people that said hello to the recruiter are applying online, but the thing just went nowhere, even over broadband with nothing going on the network. So, yeah, he wasn't happy about that. He wasn't happy that it wasn't going through after he spent all that time typing everything out. So, well, that should be interesting to say the very least. All right, warehouse fiasco. I didn't think I'd be talking about creak, creak, creak. Darn chair. I gotta put some oil on it or something. But anyways, warehouse fiasco. I actually got multiple warehouse fiasco updates. When we went to sign him up at the temp agency that got me into the warehouse fiasco, I found out they no longer have an account. Corporate, as if the same people, the same geniuses at this place's home office that had that screwball regulation or that screwball policy that anybody who'd ever been fired from any job whatsoever was flagged as unhireable. These very same geniuses at their home office decided, you know what, the distribution center shouldn't do temps anymore. Which is weird because on the other end of the spectrum, you have Amazon hiring all these temps that are practically de facto people that you're talking about people that temp for months or even years or something like that. There's so many. They're so not over their heads, but they're so they abuse temp services so much that there's actually multiple levels of temps. If you're a temp there long, I've been reading stories about if you're a temp there long enough, you can actually get promoted into lead temp and actually start bossing the other temps around. It's like an entire subculture of being a temp at that place instead of a real, actual rostered employee. It's terrible. So, but apparently, I guess maybe someone has a shard of a conscience at the corporate with these folks, because no more temp agencies. And so the agency that I was involved with back during that mess no longer has an account with them. Weird. It's going to hurt their business big time because a lot of these temp agencies around here get the bulk of their placements in the distribution centers. It's a way to, people, they find out about warehouse work and how it's an easy double digits an hour. And they're like, yeah, sign me up. Then they find out they actually have to do real work in order to earn that double digits an hour. And they're like, oh, I quit after a couple of days. And they wander back to convenience store or supermarket or Walmart or something. But yeah, so it's really a plus if you have any kind of zeal for what you do and you actually don't mind doing real work. It's because there's so many people around here that actually do mind doing real work, and they lead to all the turnover nonsense that takes place at these places. So it's kind of interesting that there's actually a warehouse around here that doesn't want to temp anymore. So considering how much temp services are so popular with, let's outsource all those people that decide they don't want to do real work and quit after 3 days. Let's outsource that to have someone else take care of it, and let's only hire on the people that'll actually stay at the job for 3 months. I mean, that kind of thing just seems to have gone the way of the dinosaur. I don't know. But yeah, warehouse fiasco company. No more temps. And interestingly enough, my dad and I were shopping at Aldi's, as he calls it, aka Aldi, Albrecht discount. I'll rub that in as many times as I need to rub that in. But while we were shopping at Aldi, I actually ran into one of the folks I used to work with at the warehouse fiasco job. Great seeing her with her kids. She was with her kids, and her kids were being a little crazy, but it was great seeing her for the first time in years, and we caught up on things, told her how I'm a WMS guy, programming access and SQL and stuff that interfaces with the system, and I like the people I work with, they like me. It's kind of a really great synergy going on there. A really great synergy where, I'm thinking treat them like friends instead of coworkers, which is very different for someone like me with the kind of background I have with business school graduate and stuff like that. But it's been working out really great, and I'm working with a lot of different buildings now, and it's the heads that what I'm working on have gone way up the chain, even to vice presidents and folks at corporate. But she's telling me that ever since the temp accounts got ended because of that corporate policy and all the temps got laid off, they've been understaffed so much that their people are so tired and fatigued from never having enough people. And that must be why they're running job ads again for the first time in years. They actually really are hiring. They're not just queuing up applications in case someone quits. That'd be a big first for them. But anyways, so the temp agencies... The temp agencies are gone at the warehouse fiasco place, and they are so in trouble people-wise that there have actually been 12 fork truck accidents in the last week. 12 fork truck accidents because people are driving tired. And of course it doesn't help that I know that they cheaped out and they didn't buy the parts to maintain the trucks properly. I mean, this place had such old equipment. I mean, there's pallet jacks in that place that have angles like 80s cars. That's how old they are. And actually, one of the guys I used to work with, he'd drive around on a reach truck, and the reach truck had no brakes. Literally, the only way he could stop the truck was by plugging it in reverse. The thing you usually do to go in reverse. It's an alternative and a slower way of stopping the truck than having actual disc brakes. So the only way he could stop his truck was to plug it. If something ever happened to him and he passed out while he was driving the truck, it wouldn't stop. It would just crash into something. If he stepped off the dead man pedal, which is a pedal you have to step on in order for your fork truck to move, it wouldn't do a thing. It'd just crash into something. Jumped off the truck, boom! It would 12 to 15,000 pounds of hard metal slamming into whatever's in front of it first. Just so I imagine between that wondrous upkeep of the machines and a lack of people, and of course people are gonna be tired enough. They're gonna have all kinds of incidents there. Some things never change. That's why I recommended to my dad, if he goes to that place, just pick orders. Keep it simple. Pick orders on first shift. When I heard some horror stories about them getting so much VTO, aka voluntary time off, aka going home early, that their hours got down to like 32 hours a week at one point during the quieter times of the year. But yeah. So, well, I guess that solves the permatemp problem. There's no more temps! Apparently there isn't much of anything else there either. It was kind of funny though, because I was poking around on LinkedIn earlier, and there was this guy who I recognized as one of the managers that used to run that place. He's not with that company anymore. He's with one of the much larger competitors. Like, yeah, he knew when to get out when the going was good. Some things never change. Although, as bad as the place that he's been at has been, the warehouse fiasco company might actually be an improvement for my dad at this point, so maybe he can consider it. But man, 12 accidents. 12 accidents in the past. Or it may not have been fork truck accidents. It could have been people like accidentally cutting themselves with the razor blades trying to stock boxes at night. But yeah, I mean, you get people fatigued. Yeah, you're going to have problems all over the place. Hey, maybe they can call in. Maybe someone can call OSHA on them or something. I don't know. Well, I guess then again, we are talking about a place that's the polar opposite of where I am right now. Where I am right now, all the good stuff that's happened to me there is because of the people involved. All the bad stuff that happened to me at the warehouse fiasco place is because of the people that were involved. Funny how that works. So that was my birthday. What a way to turn 33. Father-son outing that's part celebrating birthday and part job search, but I'm not the one who's looking for the job. Yeah, anyways, the food was random too. My stepmother picked up a little tiny cupcake-sized cake. It wasn't a cupcake. It was actually a real birthday cake, but it was the size of a cupcake with a single candle coming out the top. I didn't even bother with the candle. Yeah, it was pretty good anyways. Plus, I've already had buttercream marble cake thanks to that office party earlier, so I'm definitely set on cake. And of course, my stepmother also made some tortellini salad that I used to like growing up, so I've had birthday cake, I've had birthday pizza, I've had birthday Chinese food in years gone by. Birthday tortellini salad? Wow, the randomness continues. Alright, it's enough vlogging for now. I'm actually starting to develop a backlog of stuff I want to make videos about, so we got to get back to the tech. Let's do that. I have one more thing that I have to do, and that would be get a physical tomorrow afternoon. Yay! I think I might try to get the chores done tomorrow too, so I can have a weekend of just doing whatever I want. Plans for the Delosaurus, plans for the Monolith Dilemma, plans for the Windows 10 experiment. Which one should I do first? I wonder. I even picked up some more stuff for Ashen's pastiches this afternoon because we also stopped at the dollar store, and I haven't been to that dollar store in a very long time. Seeing some of the stuff on the shelves that I used to eat back in the warehouse fiasco days kind of almost was like bringing back bad memories, but we'll get to that eventually. Anyways, till next time, darn chapped lips. It's March. The chapped lips thing should be ancient history by now. Whatever. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by. Woohoo! 33! Yeah.